All right, once again, folks, you're out with NASCAR Dave on Saturday, the 21st, I think. Don't quote me on that one because I'm not sure. But now I'm over with my dear friend Stacey Moore, and I'm going to have Stacey talk a little bit about the upcoming adoptive family program, which she's run for a long, long time, probably almost since its inception. She's been involved with it. Very successful program here in the town of Northeast, and so we'll let her talk about it. Good morning, or good afternoon now, Stacey.
Good afternoon, NASCAR.
And you're working on Saturday.
Yeah, what can I say?
Somebody's got to do it.
That's right. Got to get the work done. Yeah, it's been over 25 years that we've done the adoptive family, and like I say every year, I jumped in because of Marilee and the Astor Head Start program. She always did what she could for the kids at the holiday, and back when it started, it was probably 20, 25 kids. Now we're close to 300 kids. And we cover everybody in the Pine Plains and Weavertuck School District. So we come south from Wassaic, up through Amenia, Millerton, Pine Plains, out to Elizaville, wherever the school buses go for those two school districts, with our goal of being warm winter clothing and 3 toys per child. The annex is always filled with toys because of our generous neighborhood. People can start dropping off toys. We really don't have the annex until after Thanksgiving to start setting up. But people have already brought in toys. Our first toys are here. Our hurdle last year, which will be again this year, is that Saperstein's is closed.
Yeah. What'd you do last year? I forgot now.
Well, we made a wonderful connection with Sunday in the Country. And by working with Billy and the gang and people like yourself, we were able to coordinate gift cards, or what I would call gift cards. And if a family was not adopted out to get their clothing and their toys, we gave them a $100 per child gift card to Tractor Supply, Label Shopper, Fresh Town, at the time Millerton Market, and Peck's Market in Pine Plains.
Nice.
So the hopes would be that, say, a family of 5, they had the choice of, because you can't get clothing everywhere, but between the Label Shopper, Tractor Supply, and Dollar General in Amenia, there was a pretty good selection. If not, that $500, we hope Mom and Dad could buy the groceries at, say, Fresh Town for the holiday, or for a month, maybe $500, and then they'd have the money to get the clothing themselves. And they would still come over to the annex, Mom and Dad, and pick out 3 toys per child, and then there's all kinds of free stuff, there. And it was a big success. We were able to take care of all of our families yet again, and we probably spent the same amount in the gift cards that we would have, say, at Saperstein's.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a new one in town that's Meta 22. It's a children's clothing store down at the Light in Millerton. They've just opened. We haven't checked out, but she's reached out and wants to support the program.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and we've been putting her in touch with Lewis at Saperstein's, I think, to get a sense of clothing, jackets, shoes, because like anything else, nothing's cheap. And if Mom and Dad, have $100, it doesn't go too far. But she's willing to do the same kind of deal as Lewis did, which is give them $125 to shop with and give us the discounted rate. So we'll be connecting in the next month to see what it is she can supply, what it is she can offer, and hopefully Mom and Dad can go there and shop for clothing, as well as Label Shopper and Tractor Supply. And our mission, no matter what, is that every dollar raised is spent locally. We've been asked by our backer, if you want to call it, Berkshire Taconic Foundation, that there's other places in Massachusetts or other stores where we could get clothing, and that's not what we do. We put it back where we got it from, which is, our local grocery stores or any other store that's going to offer mom and dad and the kids something.
Well, how about that's a pretty nice way for that lady with that new business to introduce herself to the community
that's
too,
what
though, right? I
yeah,
mean,
that's
it's a
what
double-edged
Yeah,
thing. It's a win-win, really.
right. Because now, if you go through Millerton, there's a lot of new stores. There's a lot of new bodies. It's changing. Constantly changing. So yeah, we want to help her, and she'll help us. There's limits. It's like no grocery store right now. You got to adjust. But we have such a small window of time that once those kids start signing up, mid-October, we've got to mid-December to get it done.
30 days.
Yeah, the gift cards were huge. Mom and dads actually loved the idea of that, to do their own thing, and then they'd come back and go to the annex and pick out the toys, and those are always winners. I mean, the people, the thought that goes into buying toys for us. And Oblong Jr., Dick has always been a supporter of us. So if people buy for us, he gives discount. If we need anything, he gives discount. He's got toys. That's no problem. Tractor Supply last year, we could not keep enough of those farm toys and those farm sets and those monster trucks or whatever they sold down there. I went down for 3 separate shipments.
Wow.
And practically bought them out. The kids love that, or the parents love buying that. Still, board games, Legos. It's tough because, everything's technology. The kids are all on their phones and playing their video games, but we do not promote that. We're all about anything that puts mom and dad down at the table or the kids at the table to learn, interact outside. Billy Nichols and Rob Cooper, truckload, backs up. Everything, soccer ball, football, baseball, anything sports, they loaded up.
Yeah.
We ran out of balls last year, we got more balls.
I don't know who has more fun, the kids that get those presents or those two guys that go and get them.
I think those two guys have a pretty good time.
That's what I'm thinking too, yeah.
Yep, I mean, so many organizations, the teachers at the schools, the businesses that do business with me, they'll start calling. When do you want stuff? What do you need? And with no exaggeration, those cars and trucks are backed up to the annex, and we're just, wow. I mean, last year, Jessica, Sharon Valley Tavern, had a fundraiser, calls me up, said, I got some stuff for you. Can you meet me? Sure. And when I met her, it was like the car at the circus, where the clowns keep coming out. Yeah, and the toys and the bikes. And I said to her, was NASCAR at the party? Because he loves doing his bikes.
Yeah.
But we've never not said we could use or we need something that it always just appears, Dave.
It's amazing.
It just appears.
Well, I think it's because of your theory about raising the money in the community and buying from the local community vendors who everybody goes to all the time anyway. So, yeah. I mean, for support, and they're so gracious to support all of us. The least we can do is go and support their businesses.
Yeah, I mean, we got to take care of one another. Like I said, the times are changing. If we're not circulating our monies and our support and our love within our own community, it's not going to stay together. No. It's not going to work. And we see, I don't want to get into the politics, but last year our numbers were down, which, makes you kind of encouraged. You'd like to think there's less needing this help. Because when you look at historically 250 to 312 for the last 6-7 years, that's a lot of children in need. But with the integration, or whatever you want to call it, immigration and stuff, we had a lot of families we knew in our heart of hearts that were not stepping forward out of fear. We can't get into it, but we tried to spread the word to the social workers and the churches and the services that could be of help to them, that the annex doors were open. If they needed a debit card or a credit, a gift card, we had some, and by the time Christmas rolled around, we truly hoped we'd did what we could do.
Well, I hope they come forward. I mean, they don't have to be afraid in our communities. They're all pretty hardworking
Yeah.
individuals.
And
you know?
and we're not about basing judgment. We're
No.
there. If you need, you get. We had a great year in that we were able to do 4 or 5 kids at summer camp this year. We
Wow.
paid so that
Beyond.
yeah, we could pay for them to go for the full 6 weeks at camp down here, and reach out and help some others in ways that they needed to through the year. So yeah, I mean,
So you're booming.
yeah, well, it's like you establish something, people know there's a need, and my bottom line is, but for the grace of God, it could be me.
Yeah.
It could be anybody. It has been people that I've loved that needed to make a choice between a quart of milk or pencils and crayons for their kindergarten kid. Nobody should be in that position
No.
to not have both. We also did 20 backpacks fully stocked for the Astor kids when they
Nice.
started school,
School?
2 weeks ago. Yep, they were there, and they all have their own backpacks.
That's really good.
Yeah, so people can write out a check to Adopt a Family Millerton. It goes in Berkshire Taconic Foundation, and it's right off for them.
Mm-hmm.
They can drop off a toy here anytime from now to whatever, and just no electronics we prefer, but if there's some toy that made them happy, yo-yos, hula hoops, we don't care.
Whatever.
And it's going to make some other child happy.
Little slinkies.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Stacey. Well, once again, it's been good talking, and I'm glad you had another successful year. And I'm glad
Here
that
we go again.
you thought about the gifts cards after the Saperstein's
Well, we
closed,
had to-
because you had to adjust quite
Right.
readily there.
We did, because, and I get it, with Berkshire Taconic Foundation, they can't just give us a check and say, go do it. They need accountability. And because of our relationship with Sunday in the Country, there was no questions asked. There was accountability, and, we could flow it through. And Billy ran his butt off last year. We wiped out Dollar Store 3 times. We wiped out food. He actually had to go from Amenia to Dover to buy another 20 cards. And he was like, just tell me what you need, Stace.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was Santa.
So he's doing a good job.
He was Santa.
All
So
right.
we're going to try to get a little jump on it this year to save him some of that. But
No, it does him good to run around. Don't give him a break. Yeah, don't do that. Just
I
put
don't
the-
know. My neighbors want him for his stonework really
Well,
soon.
listen. I'm not going there. You talk about politics.
I just sent a message.
All right. Okay. Well, listen, Stacey, it was a pleasure.
Welcome
And
back
good
to
luck.
the north, darling.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, so it's okay.
Oh,
the
well.
town is safe.
Well, I feel honored.